Hello and welcome to a new video on the HKCM Global channel. My name is Philip. Today we're going to be looking at the topic of cannabis stocks, especially the stock of Canopy Growth and Organigram. First of all, as always, like, subscribe, comment on our videos. Highly appreciated for the support. So the cannabis market, cannabis stocks, it's been in the mix for quite some time. It's been very much hyped in the last few years, but in the last, 12 to 24 months, things have not gone too well for most of the cannabis stocks. They are hitting one new low after the other. Every breakout has been basically been defended by the bears, and it's going down, down, down. So why still care about the market? Because yes, they are attractive turnaround titles. They are risky stocks, of course, but they're also very, very attractive in terms of the upside. Yeah, and in the recent weeks, we have seen some significant upsides, especially in Canopy and in Organigram. And there is now a realistic chance that the bottom has been hit and we could be going up for quite some time and see a significant upward move there. That's also the reason why we started buying into those stocks and establishing first long positions here. First of all, let's take a look at Canopy Growth, probably most well-known cannabis stock out there at the moment. So far, we've hit the low at $1.09. This is Canadian dollars, by the way, just to make sure. Yeah, since this low, the market has moved to the upside, and we can make the case here for this being a 5-wave move followed by an ABC correction, and now we are seeing another push to the upside. So the next thing I want to see here is a break of 275 to the upside in order for this to continue within wave 3. Otherwise, should we fall back again below 162, then there would be another low, but we would be expecting this to hold the absolute low at 109 and not go below the $1 level for now. That's our expectation. So of course, if it's going to come down here, we're going to be continuing buying, we're going to add positions, and we will also start adding positions should we see a sustained breakout above 275 here. Looking at the overall chart at Canopy, to be honest, it's hard to spot, but I think it makes it clear why we are still even caring about this stock, because if we take a look where the stock came from, of course we have to take into consideration that the stock has seen some significant splits in the past years. Otherwise, we would be at completely different levels. So we can see here we had a significant split in the past in 23. Otherwise, levels, the prices that we are seeing here on the upside would not be where they are currently. But nevertheless, there is a large upside potential. Even if this move would only in the later stages of its development show that it's only a corrective upside, it still can be expected that the previous levels we have seen in the last years where the stock really showed a breakout, when it came from below down here around 370, and we saw the move to $20. If something like this just occurs right now, this would already be a significant upside. Let's just from the current levels take it up here to, let's say it goes to 20. This is already over 800% upside potential. So basically it's a simple exercise here. Why are we entering Canopy Growth stocks at the moment? They're dirt cheap down here. The upside potential is huge, even if only the last highs are being tested. As said, around $20 Canadian, this would already be a huge 800-900% upside, and we're not even talking about the stock then continuing a rally and going further and further, and even at some point maybe seeing new all-time highs. I don't want to go there because it's too far out. It is possible. We have seen things like that happen. We've seen it with other stocks that have been crushed. Let's take a look at Palantir, take a look at Siemens Energy. Those were stocks that have been absolutely crushed, and they recovered. They made new all-time highs and quadrupled from their previous all-time highs. So it's always out there. It is a risky trade. No, that's absolutely, there's no doubt about that. It is a high-risk trade here with the cannabis stocks, but it's also a very, very attractive trade in terms of return. So this is definitely not a position you want to enter with, I don't know, 20, 30, 40% of your portfolio, but it's something that should be in the mix. Add it as a risk position, because it will outperform most other positions if it goes goes well, and at some point it has to move. So we are absolutely sure that no matter how things go now, at some point our trade here will be in the greens for sure. The same thing goes for Organigram. Chart looks basically the same. It's also completely awful. We're also basically coming from absolute lows here at the bottom. So currently we are still working on a 5-wave upside move. So 1, 2, 3, and now wave 4. Either it's completed and we are now going to break out above 198 Canadian, or we're going to come back down again and then break out and then see wave 5 of 1 complete, a wave 2 pullback, which would be another buying opportunity, which would also prove if this breakout is for real. Yeah, and then we're going to be seeing continued upside here in wave 3. And basically, yeah, it's the same story with Organigram as it is with Canopy. Looking at the previous highs here, the previous breakouts that the stock has seen, if we are just going to be tackling this high here around, which is now around $4, this would already be a over 100% trade here to the upside. And then of course, yeah, in the long run, if this should be playing out as well here and we are seeing some significant upside, then of course reaching the all-time high here at around 45, this is a 3,800% upside trade. So it's a simple exercise, as already said. It's all about the possible return. The downside risk at the moment, I think it's limited. Of course, they could be becoming absolute penny stocks and falling below the $1 level. But everybody who enters the market now, I think, is aware of the fact how this can go. It's going to be either it's going to be a monster trade, or we're going to be sitting here for quite some time with those positions before we're going to be seeing some profits. No matter how things go, either we continue to rally or we see another fallback, especially with Canopy. If we see another fallback, we are going to be adding more positions to our current positions here, and we're also going to be adding positions if a sustained breakout is seen here as well. And then we'll see and we'll take it from there how things develop over the coming weeks. It has been very typical for the cannabis stocks in the past years. When they have seen rallies, it was usually during the summer months, and it was always usually very late with the major indices or the normal stock market basically. So when they came to extremes and when they came to the end of their cycles and their upward moves, then usually this is where cannabis stocks came into the mix, and then they have a short, very, very strong rally, and then they go into corrective mode with the rest of the market again, and then we have to see how far are they going to be pulling back this time, and are they going to be holding the lows, and then we can we build up on that in the future to see a sustained market development here. Because the thing is, all the cannabis stock, it's still very, very new. And if we take a look back, for example, looking at the beginnings of the huge tech stocks that we are now like Apple, Google, Microsoft, etc. Looking at the beginning years when the stocks were still cheap and when the companies weren't just as big and the whole market sector wasn't as developed as today, we've seen similar developments within the stocks prices and the charts as we're seeing with the cannabis stocks. We had huge upside rallies, a few 100%, and then all of this was corrected 90%, new lows made, and then another upward thrust, and then again 90% correction, etc. So it is not untypical for a new market in the making to show this type of behavior here that we've been seeing with cannabis over the last years. It is something that takes time and it takes endurance as an investor to stay on board. But looking at the general development of the cannabis market, especially in the United States, I think it's just a matter of time until the sector really grows into its big boys shoes, and it's going to be going, and it's going to start making a sustained, stable upward trend as other stocks have as well. And then we're going to stop seeing those extremely huge swings that we're still seeing at the moment. And of course, we're going to stop making new lows all the time, hopefully. That's it on Canopy Growth, Organigram. So we'll see how this goes. If you're interested in having that covered on a regular basis, go to our website, hkcmglobal.com, get a subscription for our cannabis stocks package, and be informed in time about our new positions, new buying opportunities, etc. And yeah, see you next time. Hope you enjoyed the video. Take care.